Good character seems to be in short supply these days. And you're probably wondering, like most parents, how do I raise a child in the context of a culture that seems to appear to reward the opposite? With the pervasive influence of social media, as well as an emphasis on financial and academic success, instead of morality, we need to be far more intentional in building our children's character. I'm Marisa from Called to Mothering, and I encourage and equip moms who are raising toddlers to teens. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 ways to help you raise children who internalize good values and do the right thing, even when no one else is looking. First of all, know your values and share them. Parents who have clearly identified moral convictions and their intentions for teaching these to their children are much more likely to raise kids with a strong character. Talking explicitly about your values with your kids on a regular basis helps your kids develop these character traits that you would like them to have, especially in the face of teachings from the media and also their peers, which might conflict with what you believe. And research shows the stronger your relationship with your kids, the more their world, including the opinions of their peers, is filtered through the values that they've picked up from you. So take time to think through the character traits that you value the most, such as compassion, dependability, generosity, humility, honesty, or thankfulness. Pretend it's 20 years from now and your children are all grown up. You are now looking at your adult children. What are the character traits that you hope they have internalized when they were children? And then share these regularly with your kids by explaining to them why you feel the way you do. Number 2 is make it relevant. Values seem almost theoretical until kids start talking about their own lives, which, believe it or not, are chock full of values-laden decisions. For example, is your 6-year-old allowed to break a date with a friend to accept another, more exciting invitation? How much help should your 8-year-old accept from you on her school project? Should your 12-year-old invite a girl to a birthday party who some of the other girls look down on, but whose birthday party she was invited to and attended? Should your 14-year-old tell the teacher that kids in her class are cheating on a test? Handling these types of decisions is what reinforces your values to your kids and also helps them adopt these values as their own. Number 3 is set a good example. If we want our children to have good character, we can't just teach it. We have to live it. Our kids will display the qualities that they see in us, ultimately. They see us behind closed doors, and they know who we really are. I'll never forget the day that I was washing dishes, and I was standing there at the sink, and I heard my son say words, say my very words back to me. And I forget exactly what he said, but I'll never forget the tone of voice that he used. It cut me to the quick. It actually hurt my heart. And I stopped for a minute and I thought, oh my goodness, how and why is he speaking to me this way? And then the Lord gently reminded me that I had spoken those very same words to him earlier that week. Talk about humbling. Your kids are always watching you. They are always learning from you. So if you want to be able to teach them good character, you always have to be aware of what you are modeling to them. By the way, if you are enjoying this content, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. And please consider sharing this with another mom who you think would be encouraged. Number 4 is use teachable moments. What can seem like irritating interruptions to an otherwise smooth day are actually golden, teachable moments. When your kids are displaying bad attitudes and saying unkind words to each other, you can step in right then and there and teach them a better response. What I did when my kids were younger was, first of all, ask the offending child if they thought their words and behavior were pleasing to God. Then we would talk through different responses and ways that they could have handled the situation. If they were having a disagreement and neither one felt like compromising or sharing, I usually asked them individually to consider how they might serve each other. I also reminded them of Matthew 7:12, do to others as you would have them do to you. By taking the time to do this over and over and over again, my children received hands-on training in character. This was really invaluable for them to learn how to deal with incidents and strong emotions that came up in the future, either with each other or with friends. Effective discipline strategies can also help you use teachable moments to build character. Brief but direct instruction about why you have a family rule and the underlying value you hold helps children learn from consequences and discipline. For example, in this family, we believe in honesty. Was it honest of you to take Jack's Matchbox car and pretend that you didn't? What should you do to make it right? And lastly, give your child positive feedback. When you see your child doing something commendable that relates to a character quality you'd like to see them develop, recognize him or her for it as specifically as possible. Like, I noticed you were kind to Ben when you tried to cheer him up. Or I really appreciated that you were honest with me about what happened at school. How generous of you to give one of your stuffed animals to Katie. Or you figured out all by yourself how to get the homework assignment that you missed. That's what I consider resourceful. You could also handwrite them a letter explaining how proud you are. Sometimes kids are quick to tune out their parents' affirmations, but a handwritten letter is hard to ignore. And I found that when I've done this, my kids keep the letters and they read them again and again. You could also make it a team effort as well. For example, when you recognize good character traits in your children, have them add a letter to a bulletin board that spells out family night. Behaviors that earn a letter might include treating each other kindly or finishing a school assignment with a good attitude. Once they spell out the words family night, then they get to choose an activity for your family to do together, such as playing a game or watching a movie or doing something together, making something together. The reward celebrates their good character. It encourages time spent together as a family, and it also enables them to choose an activity that they really enjoy. So it is a win-win-win. Thank you so much for watching these tips about how to instill good character in your children. And remember, you are not just a mom.